Happiness is key when you're looking for a career. You should never do something for 8 hours a day if it doesn't truly make you happy. But the thing is, if you enjoy your job but can't afford rent, you'll still be miserable. That's why I'm all about balancing happiness with an income. The 10 companies I'm going to talk about have the happiest employees and will allow you to earn over 6 figures. I'm also going to talk about 4 things that lead to the happiest careers. So let's get into it. Hey everyone, my name is Hisham Khan and welcome to Income Over Outcome, where I give you college, career, and of course, personal finance tips. Every single year, the website Career Bliss surveys employees from over 200,000 companies and narrows them down to the 50 happiest companies. Now I'm going to link the full list in the description, but I did extra research on the top 10 happiest companies to see why exactly they ranked so high, and I want to share that with you all today. These are all huge companies which offer a bunch of different types of jobs. So if you're in school right now, this might help you figure out where you should apply to jobs and internships, regardless of what your major is. Now, before we get into it, I want you to comment right now what you think the #1 happiest company will be. I'm just curious to see how many of you get it right before watching. At number 10, we have Deloitte, which is a consulting firm, and I won't go into too much detail on what consultants do since I already have so many videos on that, like this one and this one. But honestly, I'm a little surprised that Deloitte has ranked on this list because I know so many people at Deloitte who say they have to work ridiculous hours. The reason they're probably on this list is because Deloitte invests so much back into its employees. They have 6 facilities across the world called Deloitte University that they use to train and develop people. Some of my friends have gone to their facility in Texas, which is actually the first one ever made, and it's absolutely insane. It's basically like a college campus, but better because everything is free. You get to learn from leaders across the entire company and you gain a lot of new skills. They also have this cool spot called the Barn, which has everything you can imagine, from food to music to games. It's basically a chill spot people can just hang out at. Whenever you're looking to join a company, make sure they're focused on developing their employees, especially when you're first starting out. Because when people start to feel like their company doesn't care about them and there's no growth, that's when they begin to become unhappy with their careers. Another positive for Deloitte is that they pay really well. Your salary depends on what type of consultant you are. If you're in audit, which is accounting, you're going to make less than a tech consultant who is going to make less than a strategy consultant. But on average, you could expect to make around $80,000 right out of college, and the median salary at Deloitte is around $175,000. In 9th place, we have Accenture, which is shockingly another consulting firm. You'll notice that consulting firms in general focus a lot on developing their employees, and they have to because a huge chunk of the people they hire are fresh out of college. Accenture mainly does tech consulting, and that's different from management consulting, which I've talked about in the past, because they focus less on operations and strategy and more on how they can use technology and apps to solve problems. Pay is slightly lower than Deloitte because they're primarily a tech consulting firm, but it's still really high. Right out of college, you could make around $75,000, and the median salary is $163,000. At number 8, we have a company you've probably never heard of before, and that's Symantec. But if you've ever had Norton antivirus on your computer, that annoying yellow thing that pops up at random times, then you're all too familiar with this company because Symantec makes that. They also make a bunch of other cybersecurity products, and it looks like people really enjoy working there because they have such a positive culture. And that's another really important thing you should be looking for when you're searching for jobs. But salary is the main reason people are happy at Symantec. The median pay is $150,000, and some common jobs you could get there are software engineering, business development, marketing, and sales. The 7th happiest company is Microsoft because people there are constantly solving problems and making products that actually have an impact on the world. And impact is a huge factor in finding happiness in your job. If you feel like the work you do is pointless and you're only doing it for a paycheck, eventually you're going to lose interest and be unfulfilled. It also helps that pay at Microsoft is really high. If you're a software engineer and manage to get into Microsoft right out of college, you could make upwards upwards of $110,000. Of course, there are a bunch of other jobs at a big company like Microsoft that also pay really well. Taking the number 6 spot, we have the one and only Apple. Tech companies are absolutely crushing this list because it's so hard for other companies to compete with all the benefits they provide. Not only do they have really high pay, but companies like Apple are known for having really positive cultures. You spend countless hours with your coworkers, so it's also really important you look for a company that has people you actually enjoy working with. A negative work culture will destroy your happiness even if you have all the other benefits. Obviously, some of the highest paying jobs at Apple are software engineering, but if you've seen any of their commercials, you know that marketing is huge at Apple, along with HR and finance. Like the other companies on this list, Apple has programs dedicated to helping their employees, especially recent college grads and current students. They have programs like the new Grad Program and Student Development Program. Now these are pretty competitive, but if you can get into Apple, then you can absolutely make it rain, because the median salary at Apple is $131,000. In 5th place, we have Comcast, one of the largest internet and cable providers in America. And at this point, it shouldn't surprise you at all that they really take care of their employees. Just like you should be taking care of me by hitting that notification bell and like button. One of the best things about working for Comcast is that even though some of their lower level jobs don't require a college degree, they offer $5,750 in tuition reimbursement every single year. So you can go to college and work your way up in the company. And when a company does that, it shows that they generally care for their employees' development. Taking the 4th spot, we have Intel. Basically, every single computer on this planet has an Intel chip in it. So the work they do is definitely important. And their culture is also pretty decent. But their pay is insanely high. 50% of people at Intel make at least $180,000, which explains why they rank so high on this list. Now we're down to the big 3, and 2 of these I did not expect to see on this list at all. The first of those is Cisco, another tech company, and they're most well known for making Wi-Fi routers. And I read a bunch of different reviews from people working at Cisco, and it looks like the reason they enjoy it so much is because of long-term growth opportunities and because they learn so much from all the smart people around them. In 2nd place, we have the only company that has nothing to do with tech or consulting. And honestly, this is the one that surprised me the most. It's Caterpillar. That's right, that company that makes those yellow bulldozers and excavators. And their median salary is way less than all the other companies on this list at $98,000, which is still insanely high. When I saw this, it made me wonder, how the hell did Caterpillar rank at the very top of this list? So I did a bunch of research and found out that their culture heavily promotes the well-being of their employees. Caterpillar makes sure their employees don't just feel like workers, and that they have a higher sense of purpose as part of the Caterpillar family. Now that might sound weird, but it goes to show how important a sense of purpose really is. And finally, the number 1 happiest company to work for is Google. Their perks are pretty much unmatched. You get an endless amount of free food, you can bring dogs to work, and you get nap pods. I could go on and on, but what's more important is that you're surrounded by really smart people who motivate you to do better and grow as a person. And we all know Google has some amazing pay. You can make 6 figures right out of college. If there's anything you should take away from this video, it's the 4 things that lead to a happy career: your development, impact, culture, and pay. If you want more videos like this, don't forget to hit that notification bell and that like button. I'll see you in my next video, but until then, take care.